welcome back to my channel. For anybody new to my channel, my name is Tisa. I do gossip, mess, astrology, tarot, listen, everything. I'm about to start building furniture and sell it on Etsy. In any case, that's a joke for now. In any case, if you are new to my channel, if you like the video when it's done or during the middle, like, comment, subscribe. It does help me push me up in the algorithm. And to be honest, I really like being here talking trash to you guys. So I want to make sure I can talk trash as much as possible. Anyway, with no further ado, let's get to this trailer. Listen, my first thoughts are, okay, so the producers aren't stupid, right? Monique, is gone because she's insane, right? If you haven't seen my Binder Time review, go watch it. But they love the ratings boost they got from the drama. Bravo is starting to slip with production. So now they're starting to bring a lot of drama. The weird thing is, and this is, hold on y'all, Nene might have had a point. Why are all the black franchises literally getting into drama that's could be closer to physical than any other franchise? Now, I'm not saying, I know Brandy slapped Lisa Vanderpump, all this shit happened. But when that shit happened, there was a clear message that that shit was not okay. And don't you ever in your life do that. With this one, even with Mia, and I know everybody's just like, yeah, Candace got what she deserved. We're going to get into the thing. Candace got what she deserved. But somebody literally picked up a handful of salad, and threw it. First of all, this Mia girl, I don't know what her name is. I know she's trying to act super like, do the housewife. She's supposed to be a housewife Barbie. Get it, girl, right? Gorgeous girl. She worked for everything she had. She came from the foster care system. It seems like her mom let her go because whatever reason, her mom wasn't able to raise her. So I'm sure she had a very rough, very heartbreaking life. I can't imagine anything. I've never heard anybody that was raised in a foster system be like, oh my God, it was the best thing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But she picked up a handful of salad, like she was in 3rd grade, and took it and threw it at Candace and then ran away. Everybody's just like, yo, she's a boss. She was so dismissive. I don't call taking food and when's the last time you've had food thrown at you outside of 8th grade? Taking food and throwing it at someone and then walking away, a boss move. But that's just me. That's just me. And poor Candace, right? I don't care what y'all say about Candace. Candace was humiliated last time. It got caught out of the blue. She wasn't ready for the punches. And I don't care what you say. You can be Rocky. If somebody catches you off guard, they're going to catch you off guard. Candace is like, I'm a victim no more. All my life, I've had to fight. I've had to fight Monique. I've had to fight Karen. And now I got to fight Mia. So she is ready. And she picked up that salad and threw it back. I am mad that Candace let Mia get her out of character. But that said, the fact that Mia, because she saw Monique disrespect her and she saw the way the fans went out for her. And these girls, when they get on the Housewives, they have plans. If you attack Candace, you will be a fan favorite. If you disrespect or humiliate Candace, you will be a fan favorite. Also, let's be real. Candace is 3 apple pie and 80 pounds soaking wet. It's not hard to physically beat Candace. Again, I know everybody was just like, oh, Candace with that mouth, Candace with that mouth. For the last thing, we need to understand the assignment. It is to look glamorous. It is to throw shade. It is to be catty. It is to bring up business. Even Ashley was shocked that Mia picked up a handful of food and threw it at someone. Ew, not a drink, not water. You put your hands in a tossed Caesar salad and threw it at someone. I don't know. Let's move on. Y'all, what is up with their dramatic opening? Like, what is up? Let's do this. What is up with the dramatic opening? Y'all, what, one thing you know about Potomac, it's a land of smoke and mirrors. Potomac, girl, we've been watching this, right? Like, I see where the producers are going to, and they're trying to have another breakout season. They better deliver, because right now, I'm like, really? Okay, right? So they go into all this stuff. It looks like Karen and Ray are in a good place, but then you see the fact that Ray's getting messages on his phone saying, good morning, handsome. And Karen say like, oh, get her, you need to watch out. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, Karen and Ray are having problems. They've been married. From what I saw last season, Ray didn't like the fact that he wasn't the big breadwinner. It's Karen's turn now. Their age difference has become, that's the thing. When you're 30 and you marry a 50-year-old, it's cute, right? He's still young enough and hot enough to be sexy. You're definitely 30 in your prime, body all tight, doing the damn thing. He has money. You have the looks. You can increase the circle. So yeah, that's fun. But nobody talks about when, if it is a real marriage, when you turn 50, he's 70. That's when it's a big deal. To me, again, 30, 50, okay, fine. But when you turn 70 and somebody's 50, that's when it really, really, really starts stretching out. And I think that's what Karen is just hitting her stride. She still looks good. She stays in the gym. Her body's still tight. The Black Bill Gates is ready to go garden and plant something, right? Go plant something. Maybe plant more than we think. All right, let's tell you in one of my things that when Ashley posted that her and her husband went out for the wedding anniversary, came back before 10 and talked about UFOs and the FBI, and that's why she loves her husband. Didn't I tell you that Ashley was having problems? That's the only reason Ashley was talking about that shit. She is having problems with Michael again. Listen, Michael never wanted kids. He already had two. He was grown. They were grown. Ashley wanted kids. Of course, she's young, this and that, and she wanted them to have Michael's last name. Say what you want. If you guys watch a clip from Say Yes to the Dress, Google Ashley Darby on Say Yes to the Dress. Ashley was dressed in Rainbow's finest. Ashley was broke. Everybody thought she was broke. By marrying Michael Darby, she is enamored with him, almost father figure worship, but also the fact that she feels like she married the white Bill Gates. She is so proud that somebody like her landed Michael Darby, that she wanted two kids by Michael Darby. I mean, honestly, do what you got to do. Ashley is, but like every time Ashley's pregnant, Michael is taking her through it. He is not supportive. He is an old school misogynist. You can say what you want about whether he swings on either team, but that has nothing to do with the way he actually treats Ashley. He treats Ashley like she is below her. He treats Ashley like she is from the gutter. He treats Ashley like she is trash, and he is lucky to even be in his grace. Marco is an arrogant son of a bitch, and it looks like he has not changed at all. Ashley is crying her eyes out, and a part of me, my heart really broke, because y'all know when somebody cries, that's the easiest way to get in my heart. Y'all drag me about being on Toya's side because she did tears. Every time I see somebody cry, I'm like, oh, right? However, remember when Michael kicked Ashley out and she had to go move into like some little apartment in Virginia, and then she came back and she was in tears and he treated her like shit. It's the pattern of the relationship. Ashley cries, she says she can't take it, and then she gets this strength from nowhere, and all that turns off, and she's back to being Michael Darby's wife. It's interesting to see Ashley, even though I would never touch Michael Darby. I would just never. And he's so gross to me, even the way, he's just gross. Remember when he was holding that drink with Juan, and he's like, me and you need to go to Vegas. Yeah. I was just like, oh, he's disgusting. And when he was wilding out, and I actually do think that Michael is like, casually racist. I really do. I think he looks down, but let's not get into that, right? I don't want y'all blowing up my mentions, but I will say that it's interesting with Ashley's dynamic, and I think you're going to get, Ashley should be a case study on when you dig for gold and falsified and heels with fossils, right? Not gold digging like, you trying to get Drake, or you trying to get like, or something like 50. But when you're digging for gold and the ground is like fossiled, right? I don't know what that would be called. I guess you're digging for amber. Isn't amber made from like the fossils of dinosaurs and shit? Anyway, back to the whole Michael situation. You're getting inside the sacrifice it takes when you literally do marry somebody and the big draw is not the way they treat you, right? I would never shame somebody, woman or man, for marrying up. Go for what you know, right? The number one thing for divorce is bills, but let's not act like there is not a dark side to when the main draw is not the way they treat you, not the way they respect you, not the way they lift you up. The main draw is how much is in their bank account, the status they provide, and what they can do for you. However, I will say something about Ashley. I hope Ashley's stacking cash, because even though she is a millionaire's wife, she doesn't dress like a millionaire's wife. Ashley shops at the same stores I shopped at when I was a freshman in college. When I was a freshman in college, I was brokety broke. And we shop at the same stores, right? Again, maybe she's the type of person that's taking that money and going to other things. She's like, instead of taking that bag, I'm going to take that and pay my mom's rent. Instead of taking that bag, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it in an IRA. Instead of taking that bag, I'm going to do this and I'm going to put it away for the kids. Maybe Ashley's being smart with the money, but the way Michael kicked her out and the apartment she was living in, Michael is stingy, he is tight-fisted, and he has an ego the size, and Ashley is still fine to take his shit and cry, but I am interested to see what new disrespect and what new thing he did. I will say, to Ashley's favor, she's not afraid to show the mess. And I do love the fact that no matter what Ashley goes through, she shows up like, what's up? Yo, I heard Michael was on Grindr. Yeah, he might have been. Anyway, can you pass the pasta? You know, hey, I heard Michael said that blah, 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 and kicked your mama. This is true. And Michael and I are working at it. Can you pass the Caesar salad? Not the one that Mia threw, but the other salad, right? So let's see what happens with Michael. I'm interested, but to tell you the truth, not really, because Ashley's storyline since she started has been Michael dogging her to F out. I get it. That's just the dynamics. You're fine with it. I don't care anymore. But let's see. It might be interesting. We get to Candace and Chris. I guess her storyline this season is that her and Chris are having marriage problems because her mom, Candace is an interesting study. She comes from privilege, entitlement, wealth. I love that. I love that for her. I love that for us. I don't know why more Black people are not getting into the entitlement and wealth bag. I do think it's a bit of jealousy. I think it irks the soul, but it's not just like Black jealousy. I see even with rich people on Twitter. Well, let me stop, right? Because y'all gonna meet my mentions. But my whole point is with Candace and I forgot his name, and her husband, White Chris, right? Well, Candace and Chris is an interesting dynamic because Chris is now managing her. And it's funny. Listen, fine, because that's your husband. You think you can trust him, whatever. Her mom being like, good luck with that. I see her mom's point. But you ever see when somebody, just like Candace's mom, you say the right things for the wrong reasons. The reason you don't want Chris managing her is because you want to have control over her. Because at the end of the day, you still do look at Candace as your little girl, and you have a codependent relationship. And I know everybody's just like, oh, that's because Miss Dorothy pays for Candace. But you know what? I honestly think that Miss Dorothy would be the same way even if they were living in the projects. Miss Dorothy is a codependent. She's very, very controlling. And I think regardless of her income, she would try to sabotage Candace and be in Candace's mind and control her. The fact that she does have income, she used that to control. But when Candace got on Real Housewives of Potomac, and y'all stop acting like Candace does not have a real job, the show pays her. When she got on Real Housewives of Potomac, she doesn't need her mom's money anymore. Granted, I know that trust fund's still there and savings, but she doesn't need her mom's money to survive anymore. And that's really bothering Miss Dorothy, because quiet as kept, Miss Dorothy would give Candace the world if Candace would just be her little girl again and let her control her. And I know that makes y'all mad. I know y'all talk about, oh, Miss Dorothy went upside her with a purse and this and that. But Miss Dorothy, first of all, I grew up with my mom smacking me, right? You can say what you want, but somebody swinging a purse at you, maybe I grew up, I don't know, but it wasn't that serious. And I can see Miss Dorothy doing that. It was wrong, but I can see Miss Dorothy doing that because you still are desperate to control your little girl. You want your little girl back. You want your best friend. For years, it was you and her against the world. You were tight. Candace's sister was like, yeah, I'll leave that over there. So I see how Miss Dorothy wants that dynamic back, and she can't control money anymore. So she's trying to do other things. But I just think it's so messed up that when you grow up with controlling, maybe even to some people, abusive parents, and when everybody around you kind of echoes that, right? that the minute you try to break free, it's like, oh, what's wrong with you? It is not the person's responsibility to stay in a toxic situation, whether that be man, woman, or child, whether that is your mother, your father, your sister, your preacher. Why is it somebody's responsibility to actually work through the toxicity and try to find a way? For what? For what? Let's normalize doing what's best for ourselves. And also, I'm sick of people blaming a victim. If everybody in your life treats you like shit, right? If everybody in your life treats you like shit, are you really the problem, or is everybody else the fucking problem? Because usually we have echoes about that, right? You never hear about everybody in Jeff Bezos' life treating them like shit, do you? And I'm sure they deserve it. They've done a lot. Did you hear anybody in Steve Jobs' life treating him like shit? He was the worst father. He was the worst husband. Everybody at Microsoft hated him because he was a horrible boss. Google it if you don't believe me. Did anybody treat him like shit? Can we stop acting like people don't cower to money? People don't cower to status. People don't cower to whoever they think is on top. And for whatever reason, in Candace's demeanor, in her thing, they look for reasons to disrespect her. But basically what it is Candace isn't mean enough. I know she lashes at people and they come at her, but the problem with Candace is you're not mean enough, and you haven't gotten to that level of respect that people feel like they have to treat you well, do right by you. Do you see what I'm saying? Anyway, and it's tragic. It's tragic. But let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're watching this video, like, comment, subscribe, share. Y'all heard me in the beginning. I'm trying to get my algorithms up. But Chris, white Chris, let's get back to this, is mad at Candace because at the end of the day, Candace married Chris to take care of her and give her that warm, nurturing love that she didn't get from her mom and she didn't get from her dad. She literally is the rich man that married somebody else. I'm not going to say Candace married below her station, but she's the person with money in the situation and contacts and connection. And if Candace and Chris divorce, Chris will go back to whatever restaurant he was cooking in, and Candace will still be, it'll make her storyline even better. But like most relationships, Chris is feeling underappreciated. Chris is feeling undervalued. When Candace comes home from a long day of work and busting her butt, and Chris starts being like, I feel underappreciated. I'm like your maid, blah, blah, blah. Candace is like, can you stop, right? Like, I'm not trying to hear this. And Chris is sick of it. I do think too, goes back to Miss Dorothy, right? Miss Dorothy having a lot to say about Chris managing things. Again, she was giving you good advice, but for the wrong reasons. It's not good to have the person close to you as a manager or working with you. It's not good. It's really, really not good. But Miss Dorothy just wants her to come back to her so she can control it. Let's move on. We get on to Giselle and Jamal. Karen saying her crap. Honey, you got dragged and then he dragged you again. Listen, I understand Karen's beef with Giselle. When Karen was her absolute lowest, when she was almost about to have a nervous breakdown from both her parents passing away, her mom having Alzheimer's or dementia, one of those, and passing away, and then her dad dying a few months later. That grief that rocked everything. And when and Ray was acting a mess too. That grief that rocked, they literally went at her for a fucking storyline. Giselle is not Karen's friend. She treated her poorly. Robin tagged along, and so did Ashley. I'm wondering if Karen and Ashley actually have a moment in the season. Because I didn't forget, Ashley, you were there too. And Karen never liked you, Ashley, at all. Giselle, she tolerated because Giselle was like a good time girl to her. I know y'all don't like Giselle, but I'll say one thing. Did she lie? Giselle's never wrong she has that Virgo discernment. She is never wrong about her estimations of people. Not saying what she does is right, but she's never wrong about that. Anyway, with Jamal, we already know the deal with Jamal. We know Jamal. I actually think that Giselle, and I don't know if this is from her childhood or just something she fell into, but I really do think that Jamal might have narcissistic tendencies or be a narcissist. At the very least, he is very emotionally abusive to Giselle, to the point of, I remember I was watching one interview and Giselle was like, no, like, I had to learn how to bring worth as a wife. And now that I have worth, I can talk to, I can come to Jamal's equals. And I'm like, that's sad. That's sad that you were married to somebody, had 3 kids by someone, 2 of them are twins, and they made you feel like you were not on their level. They made you feel like you had to come to him sometime. They made you feel, and now you feel like you have something to bring, but it's the same thing. Jamal just I think he treats everybody bad, but he has the gift of gab. He has Giselle's heart. It was her first heartbreak as the father of her kids. And I think Giselle was raised very, very old school, where, and this is why Karen's barbs about, oh, get you a man, hurt so much. Very, very old school, where if you cannot keep a relationship and keep a man, what are you really worth, you know? And she's also getting older, you know, and everybody is getting married off and getting things that she thinks is value. And I feel like, you know, it's that stress and whatnot. However, I remember Giselle's mom. To me, again, it was only a few scenes, but the way she treated her, the way she described her mom, the way I saw her mom has narcissistic tendencies, or at least is very cold and dismissive and withholding of love. So I can see how Jamal would be very thing. But you know what, honestly, I know Giselle does a lot of shit, but y'all, I am sick and tired of people blaming the woman for being with her. The only thing I would ever blame a woman for is staying with an ain't shit too long. That's it. And even then, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, yeah, you can kind of get out of this a little quicker. You know, there's so much time that you're wasting. But even then, it's like, no, I'm never blaming the abuse for being an abusive relationship. And I don't care whether I like somebody or not. If I see a woman that looks like she is in a mentally abusive relationship that is breaking her down and really putting her under the foot of patriarchy, I'm always going to say something, whether I like her or not. You could be my mortal enemy. Bitch, we'll talk when you're in a safe house. We'll fight when you're in the safe house. Come outside, but let's get you to that safe space, right? I don't delight in seeing other women go through stuff. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But that said, my worst enemy is never going to be a woman. It's always a man. Anyway, listen, we talk about Wendy and Eddie. At first, I thought it was a storyline. I still kind of do think it's a storyline, right? All these rumors about Eddie having a baby with a woman in his attorney's office. I don't know. It just seemed like bullshit to me. However, Wendy is rocking that storyline, and of course, Giselle being the bone carrier. But in the beginning, when she's like, are you not fulfilled? And he was like, no, I'm not. Wendy and Eddie move as a unit. They are one of the most connected housewives people I see. Plus, they are Nigeria. And from my Nigerian friends, they move as a unit. It doesn't matter what's happening in the house. They are going to present a united front. And also these lines, did y'all not forget that Karen and Ray were saying these same lines in the last season? You literally took Karen and Ray's lines. I don't know, y'all. I'm looking for my lotion. Sorry, guys. I really do think it's bullshit. I really don't think that, where's my lotion? I really think it's bullshit. I really don't think that they're having problems. I think it's all made up. Her beef with Giselle, I don't even know if that's wrong. I'm gonna have to wait and see more, because even Giselle, when Giselle's coming for somebody, she has more of a look. She's the thing. The fact that she was drinking her drink and was like, what are you talking about, right? I don't know. I just think this is drama for the show. Even the way Giselle unfollowed Wendy, I think they have a thing. I think it's a storyline. I just don't see them going. I'm getting my cards ready. I think I'm gonna do a few readings on what's in the future for them, a reaction, but I'll do that on my next video. Then we get to Robin and Juan. Robin is a case study on when you're not a man's type, but you're still a trophy. Because let's get it real. Robin looks great. Robin's beautiful. Now I know I talked about Robin's style, and I know whoever braided her hair and those cornrows when she was doing her waiting to excel, depressing her bread in bed on the trailer. I know whoever did those cornrows need to be thrown in jail. They are not your friend. They don't like you, Robin. I hope you did those cornrows by yourself, right? I know, but if you take all that questionable fashion choices aside, we are in Potomac, and I don't know if you guys have ever been down to the DMV, but the DMV, by far, every girl I know from the DMV, beautiful gene pool, but their fashion choices were always like, put it like this, Giselle is fashionable for the DMV no matter what we think, right? But Robin is beautiful. Robin has big, pretty eyes. Robin, I think, has a great personality. I know the producers try to make her go off as boring, but last season I really saw her personality. So she has a nice, calming, soothing personality, right? She would be great to be with a Leo or to be with somebody that's like Mr. Attention, right? She would be great, right? Somebody faithful. But the thing is, Robin is not Juan's type. I think Juan objectively can look at Robin and be like, she's pretty. The mother of my kids is pretty. She's a pretty woman. But Juan does not find Robin sexy. That's what I mean by type. She does not do it for Juan. She has never done it for Juan. She hits every single box. Good mother, loyal. People think you're beautiful. You know, you are a trophy to a certain thing. Your family's a nice family. They help raise me. But at the end of the day, the one box and the most important box that Robin seems like she has never checked for Juan is she's his type, sexually desirable. Do you see what I'm saying? This is why I tell so many women, I should probably start, and men, I probably start a dating channel. You must get with somebody where you are their type. You are their type. Not objectively, but subjectively. And Robin, she just doesn't do it for Juan. And I think that's where a lot of the infidelity, I feel like that's a lot of thing. They are the living embodiment of Brandy's song, Almost Made You, Almost Doesn't Count. It's like Juan's like, yeah, I almost loved you, you know, you almost made me cry. It's right there. And he tries to force himself to do it, but it's just never there. Y'all, make sure that if you are dating anybody, they are always your type. Please, 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 to avoid the Robin and Juan. But listen, for Juan to say that he doesn't find her attractive, I don't even know if that was said. I hope not, because Juan, I had never watched basketball, and everybody talked about, like, you don't understand Juan Dixon, when he was playing Juan Dixon, and maybe he looks better in real life on the show, but when I see Juan Dixon, I'm like, I can pull up into a gas station in Philly or Chicago and see 20 guys that look better than Juan Dixon. And I'm sure that 10 of them will treat them better than he treats Robin. So like, what's up? What's good? What's Gucci? It's like, I just don't understand this allure of Juan Dixon. Maybe his glory days are behind him, but I see better looking guys pulling up to a gas station in Chicago or in Philly. Like, come on down, right? So, yeah, hold on. Wendy is starting to clear Giselle out. Let's see if that happens. I don't know why Wendy's stepping outside of herself. Maybe Giselle was trying to start mess. Maybe like all this stuff was happening. I will say that I see why the producers are going the violence route. And this is just some inside business because I've been doing YouTube for a month, right? So I know a lot of things. So listen to my YouTube chat. Prior to me actually getting involved in YouTube, I used to always be like, oh my God, I hate that person. Why wouldn't they fire them and this and that? But now I see, even by what drives my views, that conflict is good for business. It's good for their views. It's good for my views. You know I'm going to be covering it, right? So, you know, it's good for their views. It's good for our views. And I see why now they're encouraging them to have that conflict that just goes right up to the line. Ugh. Of grabbing wet Caesar salad and tossing it. Ew, Maya is she's disgusting. Yuck. And then trying to do it like she's so classy. Ew, you touch salad? Yuck. Anyway, they're doing it right up to the line. My only thing is, how come the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and all these other shows can go right up to the line, but it's never like that way? That's all. But you know what? Let me shut up. I'm waiting for Potomac. I think Potomac's going to be so good. I think they're the same production as Real Housewives of Atlanta. And remember what I told y'all before about I do think the network is trying to phase out Real Housewives of Atlanta or find a reason to either demote everybody, get their pay cut, or just scrap the series at all and have spinoffs. Because again, even though it was once a popular show, I think the cost of the margin of cost is too high and the producers want to get rid of it. Anyway, or the network wants to get rid of it. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to go live. I'll talk to you later. And you know what? I'm going to do a few readings to see what's good, what's Gucci with everything, all right? Thanks for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. This, that, and the third. Bye.